going on, guys? It is officially planting season, and unlike last year, we're jumping on it. Let's get to it. The boys and I have been setting the planter the last few days, just making sure all of our parts are working properly. All the row units have checked out. We are just waiting on a load that we have purchased from the co-op. But while we are waiting on that, if you guys have not seen one of the latest updates to American farming, they officially let us start doing color configs. That is right, RCC did release before Grand Theft Auto 6. So Daryl went in and traded his blue 6.6 for his classic bright red, and he gave me heck, but I went and traded my black 6.7 in for a red and, what is it, stone something metallic? It's like a tan color, and Corey decided to go straight up out of Luke Combs' Ain't No Love in Oklahoma and get a black Cummins. I'm well aware we need to have tillage, but we need to get this thing folded up, and I'm probably going to have to move that four-wheeler. I am a little sad that the utility ATV did not get the properties to be able to change colors. I would have loved to have this thing in either a military green or classic bright red. I think we have enough red vehicles on the farm now to really satisfy anybody. However, if you guys do like the Big Time Operator series and you'd love to follow us along, be sure to smash that like button, consider subscribing, and letting us know down below. How do you think this year's crop season is going to turn out? Last year, we got into the field very late, and we ended up getting harvesting done in roughly, I think, the end of January or the start of February. We're going to need to side dress most of our corn crop this year since we were not able to get the nitrogen in the field before the ground froze. But most of the bean ground we are going to no-till into because the stubble is just not enough to really justify dragging the cultivator or the vertical till all the way out there and getting started. This is one of two pieces of farmland that did get anhydrous before the ground got frozen. Drop the planter, just plant a few stalks, and get out and check. Make sure we got good separation, good depth, and most importantly, the fact that the planter's actually planting. Spacing looks good, depth looks great, and I do not see any missed plants. I think year 2 is ready to roll. Let's cue the GPS and keep on planting. At some point today, I would like to run down to the co-op and get that order of liquid nitrogen that we're going to have to side dress a little bit later this season. We don't have very many jobs around the area that need much help other than maybe Thomas with his ground, but all of the farmers are at a mad dash to get planting because of the crop insurance window. When we pop up in the map, we own a good sector of the map. And with the pre-work that we have already done between P and K in the fall and the nitrogen application for both, I'd say we're in pretty good hands. I wish I had a secondary planter, that way we could get the 340 Magnum on it and just have 2 planters running and save some time. But sadly, this is our only piece of equipment. We should probably check on our data for the hogs to see where they are at. Feed is getting low, but the pigs are looking great in their tracking of weight. Let's see how the home front's holding up. In the farrowing pen, we got quite a lot of little guys, and still fighting to catch this barn up with the old group that was ready to go to market. Just trying to wait for the prices to be right, which is definitely coming up next month. Might give Daryl the reins to the planter since he's the one who usually runs the combine during corn season. And we'll truck our way over to the hog barn with the MX case, hauling the gravity wagon way off in the distance, and take care of our piggies. This might sound slightly stupid, but I always get the MX Magnum kind of mixed up with a boxcar Magnum. I know this is the newer of the two, but every once in a while my mind slips and that's what I'll picture as a boxcar Magnum. I want you guys to jump down to the comment section if you are on summer break or close to it. What are your plans for the summer? Some of us I know are going to be just grinding out in the workforce. Others might be going on vacation. I myself never went to college. I just basically got straight out and started working on my YouTube business. So to the seniors, what might you be getting yourself into? Workforce, college, armed forces? Let us know. I'm hoping to be doing a lot more outdoor work this year, as I just don't necessarily care to be sitting and working at a desk job. But on the topic of Case IH, I am working on an IH 130 International for my neighbor, as that little project has been exciting me more and more. Gotta do some service changes to it, gonna do a little bit of paint work, and try and get it tuned up and looking a little bit nicer. Get the farrowing pen fed. Lovely. Look at those little guys in there. So adorable. It's like Charlotte's Web all over again. And the big boys, which I expect this to take a good chunk of the wagon. Oh good, I was gonna say hopefully not the whole wagon. Might be a good idea to store some corn out at this bin site, that way we don't have to travel nearly as much. But the manure spreader that Kevin has down south, a couple of you guys were in the chat and acknowledging that, hey, you should look into the Balzer slurry machine, which that is honestly a wonderful idea, guys. I honestly am going to take you up on that, because when we jump into the store, out of all the fertilizer options that we have to work with, the manure spreader is not bad by any means, but the working with and the amount of stuff you can really put in it is limited compared to using something like this, which I guess there was the mire. But my fear is that if we are to buy this, I'm not certain we can get the slurry from the hog barn, but that's just something I never messed with. I know I could. I definitely have the money to do it. And yikes, I just realized this tractor needs a bit of go-go juice. I did not look at the market to see when corn's max price is, but whatever we still have in this wagon when we're done at the South Hog Barn, I think we'll just dump it in that one silo like I mentioned earlier. It just seems like a big waste of fuel to constantly be going back and forth to transport a load of corn when I know we could be doing this a bit more efficiently. I never got fuel. Come on, man. Stay in gear. Keep your head in the game, Buck. Come on. At some point, I would like to head up in the drone to get some shots of the planting. Might be a little bit later this afternoon. I haven't decided yet if I want to dive into some of the fields we never planted last year. We don't own the one to my right, but that plot's going to corn, and most of our ground is centralized around my main plot of land. I think we own this one directly off to my left, but it never got planted. Might just rent it out. And I completely missed my turn to the hog barn. Get this silo topped off, as long as I don't take the whole thing. Which, hang on, don't I have corn in the south bin? I think I have some corn still stored in the bin site just south of me. Yeah. I still got 600 bushels of corn sitting in that thing. What the heck? Well, that saves some time. It's at least another whole hopper in this. If I am going to shuttle grain, I will be taking it in these semis. I will not be doing it with this. One, that's too slow, and two, you could hold more. I'll get the rest of the pigs taken care of. We'll see you guys back over at the planter to where we can start ripping at it with the big Steiger. Our first plot of land has been planted. We were itching around on the end rows, and that's when I decided that I wasn't going to do any sort of tillage on the bean ground, because if my mind serves me correct, we do not have row cleaners on this planter. I'm pretty certain of it. No, it does not look like it, unless those little front tines are the row cleaners. Either way, let's get the GPS lined up, and we'll catch some wonderful shots on the tractor, from the four-wheeler, and from the sky. some of our first fields of the season. I'm kind of just following the planter around to make sure that if anything is to go wrong, I can kind of almost scout it out ahead of time. I'll say knock on wood, because if I don't, then everything's just going to absolutely fall apart. But we haven't had any major issues. Spacing's been good, population's been consistent, and the soil's really working in our favor, at least for the meantime. Having an ATV like this is so handy to get around the farm. It is not even funny. I've used this thing more than my truck half the time. I don't know why Daryl's doing like 3 headlands with that thing. It could technically do just 1, but to each his own. We should probably make our way down to the co-op and get that chemical ordered. Give me just a second to wave down Daryl, and I'll kind of let him know what I'm doing, and we will be heading south. Yep, he got the signal. Let's go. I've ridden ATVs before, but it's been a lot more recent times. I didn't really ride them when I was younger. I'm starting to get old enough now that, yes, they're still really fun to ride, especially if you get on one of the bigger ones, but they have become a lot more of a utility vehicle. Even my own lawnmowers at home, I use them for utility reasons. I don't really just drive it for the fun of it. Okay, that part I might be lying about, but you get the point. I'm getting old, but you're never too old to take a jump of a giant rock mound, right? Yeah! Ow. Where's that Nutramax at? There she be. I don't know if I should pay for about 2 tanks worth. I think that's all we're going to need to cover our ground. We'll ask my agronomist just to confirm all of that. But we'll see you guys here in just a few.
12 seconds later.
I think we overshot it. The agronomist said we really only need 1 for the bean time, and I don't doubt him. So we're going to start off with 1 trailer load, and we'll just pay that when we take out the actual chemical. But at least that has been covered. I will probably go and pick up my pre-emerge fertilizer with my pickup, and depending on where the planter's at, we might actually let you guys go. We got some heavy rain that's in the forecast, and I'm not 100% sure if we are going to be able to keep on rolling. So let's get our button gear, head back down to the co-op, get ourselves some chemical, check on the planter, and we'll see where we land from there. Here's the real question is, did I block in the tender trailer with the combine? I don't think I did, but I might have. Ooh, that is close. We'll just sneak it around. It'll be fine. There we go. That's better. What is it with me and running vehicles all the way down to the point where they have literally no fuel left? This truck even has no fuel in the tank. If I run out of fuel on the way to the co-op, we are going to have some serious problems. I think I'll stop by the fuel barrel first. I believe that's probably the more important of the 2 things. Hello. Unless we gotta wait for the floater truck. Come on, man. Get out of the way. There we go. I think we'll only get about half a trailer, as that probably will cover the entirety of what we need to cover. Didn't exactly get the half I wanted, but $2,065 later, we're set to roll. Let's check to make sure the planter is not ready to move fields. And if he is, you already know what we're doing. Chemical, check. Planting, check. Doing all of this on time, double check. Oh, I can sense it. We're gonna have a really good year. I think that's really about all we have for you guys today on the Big Time Operators. I know this might be a little bit of a shorter episode, but that puts us in line for next time, which is going to be a lot of finishing up planting and spraying our pre-emerge. So be sure that you check out the rest of the Big Time Operators in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Make sure to keep it light, keep it loose, keep it fresh. Most importantly, keep it fun. This is the Squad Farms out. Peace.